Yo, what's up? This is Max Yo MMA here. I'm back again with another video. Listen, we here to discuss UFC Seattle, Israel Adesanya, who is ranked number 4, versus Joe Pyfer, who is ranked number 14. I'm finna tell y'all right now, man. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. This is one of those fights where they trying to catapult Joe Pyfer up top, man. They trying to catapult him up a lot of people, man, because they like his fighting style. They like his finishing ability. They basically trying to, the young eat the old, man. That's basically what this is, man. This is shit or get off the pot for Joe Pyfer. That's exactly what this is. And they trying to take, what they trying to do is, they trying to take advantage of the situation. They want to use Izzy popularity, and everything he worked for. They trying to use that, to pump up Joe Pyfer. If Joe Pyfer able to go knock him out, they trying to use that to catapult him up as their next big star, man. So before we get into all that, man, I just kind of want to break everything down and set the table. So Jack Hermanson, I want to do their last 4 fights real quick. I'm diving right into it. I ain't playing no games. The last 4 fights for Joe Pyfer, you got Jack Hermanson, which he lost a clear decision by. He started off hot, but ended up losing steam, and Jack Hermanson kind of took over middle of the second, into the third round. You got Marc-Andre Barriott, which he KO'd in the first round. You got Kelvin Gastelum, which he won a clear decision. Dropped Gastelum like twice in the second round, I believe. Other than that, it was pretty lackluster. Then you had him fight against Abus Magomedov in his last fight. He beat him by sub in the second round, which he lost the first round. Abus pretty much controlled the first round and was kind of sticking and moving and piecing him up a little bit. The last 4 fights for Israel Adesanya, Pereira, which he KO'd in the second round, which he also won the first round in that fight as well. Then you had Sean Strickland, which he lost. He looked lifeless in that fight. Strickland just kind of pieced him up and just controlled, just controlled the leg kicks, just was kind of pressing forward and keeping Izzy on the back foot. The DDP fight, which Izzy looked good in up until the 4th round, where he looked a little gassed, but he got hit with a nice shot. It kind of dazed him, I think. DDP took the back and subbed him in round 4. And the last fight of his was the Amava fight, where he looked good. Won round 1, got poked in the eye. He didn't take a break, and basically ended up getting KO, a TKO, I believe it was, a little bit after he didn't take a break from the eye poke, man. So, but again, looked good before that. So those are the last 4 fights for those guys. Yeah, man. So this is setting up for a good fight. A few things I want to, just talk about again before I predict the winner. So let's get into the age of the individuals. Obviously, Izzy is 36. He's on the older side, into his prime type of thing, or for a lot of people, he's past his prime. Then you have a young Joe Pyfer who's only 29. The thing is with this fight, it's a few things that concern me for Izzy. Joe Pyfer has been way more active. Joe Pyfer fought twice in 2024. He's fought twice in 2025. Whereas Izzy, man, ever since the Sean Strickland fight, he's pretty much only fought once a year. I mean, he fought in September of 2023 against Sean Strickland. Then come back until August of 2024 for a DDP. Then he came back the next year in February of 2025 to fight a Mavov. And now he's not fighting again until March of this year, which is 2026, against Joe Pyfer. The activity between the two is complete opposites. Again, twice in 2024, twice in 2025 for Joe Pyfer. Once a year since 2023 for Israel Adesanya. The thing is with this fight, I've listened to a lot of predictions. I listened to a lot of analysts and stuff. A lot of people that got Joe Pyfer winning, man, they is depending on the narrative that Izzy is washed. Basically, that's basically what this is. If Izzy is washed, indeed, like some people think, Joe Pyfer should go in there and knock him the fuck out, right? And I agree. If Izzy is washed, I mean, Joe Pyfer pretty much going to go in there and pretty much knock him out at some point. But the problem is, I got a couple of problems. The problem is, one, Joe Pyfer never faced competition to the level of an Israel Adesanya. The other problem that I do have is I don't think Joe Pyfer got enough in his arsenal to beat an experienced guy like Izzy. So here's the problem I have. Jack Hermanson, Marc-Andre Barriott, and Kelvin Gastelum, which he didn't even finish, and Abus Magomedov. I mean, those guys they scrubby. They scrubby as fuck compared to Israel Adesanya. None of them dudes is Izzy. None of them dudes come close to the championship caliber. None of them dudes come close to the fighting style. None of those dudes come close to the ability that Israel Adesanya got. Those dudes are middle of the pack, if not if not worse. Like Kelvin Gastelum at this stage, he just fighting for checks at this point. Let's be honest. Abus has one of the worst gas tanks I ever seen in MMA. You know, Jack Hermanson, okay, but he loses to elite competition all the time. So if you're losing to Jack Hermanson, that's letting me know that you're not elite. You know, Izzy has lost, his last 3 out of 4 fights. Actually his last 4 out of 5 fights. If we dating back to the Pereira first fight, which he was dominating that fight up until the KO, but Pereira got that, he just got that kind of power. But Izzy has fought elite competition. Sean Strickland, DDP, Amavov. I don't think Joe Pyfer is ready for any of those guys. But they laying him, up for Izzy because they think Izzy is food right now. They think this is the perfect opportunity to catapult Joe Pyfer into this status where they want him to be. But they're making a big mistake, I strongly believe. I think Izzy is going to style on Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer only chance is a big right hand, which I'm pretty sure Izzy is going to be ready for. If Izzy can avoid the left hook from Alex Pereira for 4.5 rounds, dating back to their first fight, and then avoid the left hook completely in the second fight when they fought again when Izzy KO'd him in the second round, he could for sure avoid the overhand right hand from Joe Pyfer. Because that's really all Joe Pyfer has to offer against somebody like Izzy. And I like Joe Pyfer. I do. I think he has a lot of promise. I just don't think he's there yet. He's not on that level. Not to mention, he doesn't have the best gas tank at all. He don't have the gas tank of Alex Pereira. He don't have the gas tank of a Sean Strickland. He don't have the gas tank and the wheel and the grittiness of a DDP. I don't think so. And skill-wise, I don't think he really come close to Amavov. I think Amavov skill-wise is much better. And again, Izzy was piecing him up until, he got eye-poked, made a lapse in judgment where he should have took a break and he didn't. So again, I don't see Joe Pyfer. I don't think he has the skill set. I think it's too early. Maybe in another 2-3 years he would have been ready. At this point in time, I don't think he's ready. I think the fight will go exactly like this. I think Izzy is going to be piecing him up on the feet. I think Izzy going to be a lot more aggressive than people think. He's going to push forward when he wants to, when he want to put the pace on Joe Pyfer, because Joe Pyfer, let's be real, after round 1, his chances of KOing you decreases, especially after the second round. And remember, guys, this is a 5-round fight. Pyfer doesn't have much 5-round fight experience. In the one 5-round fight he did have, he gassed out 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, and Jack Hermanson took over and gave him an MMA lesson. So if Jack Hermanson giving you an MMA lesson, a lesson on the feet, I can only think Izzy can do bad things to you. I don't believe Izzy is washed. I don't think Joe Pyfer catches him with the overhand right. Of course, Izzy, he'll probably get touched at some point in this fight, but I think his chin is going to hold up. I don't think Pyfer is going to hit him clean enough to knock him out. Like I said, Izzy is going to style on him. And to be honest, guys, I can see a scenario where Izzy knock him the fuck out in the later rounds, 3rd, 4th round. Maybe even 5th. If Joe Pyfer lasts that long, if he can keep up with the pace, because Izzy is going to dictate the pace. After the first round, Izzy is going to dictate the pace. So that's how I see this fight going. I can really see a stoppage in about the 4th, 5th round for Izzy. I'm going to predict a TKO win for Izzy in the 4th round. I think he's going to stop Joe Pyfer. I think Joe Pyfer's skill set, his arsenal is not deep enough. His bag ain't deep enough yet to fight a guy like Izzy. And I think he pieces him up. Joe Pyfer going to start shooting. He going to realize he can't take Izzy down, and Izzy just going to start having his way with him and piecing him up, bro. That's how I truly feel. I don't think Izzy is washed, and I think UFC making a big mistake by pushing Pyfer this much. Because again, they made the mistake when they put him against Hermanson, and I think they're making an even bigger one with Izzy. So that's my prediction. 4th round KO for Israel Adesanya. He gonna prove the doubters wrong who think he washed. He is indeed not washed. And yeah, man, we gonna see what happens, man. I'm gonna definitely break everything down post fight, but I really think I think Israel got this one, man. So we shall see. And let me just say this, man. If Joe Pyfer go out there and knock Izzy the fuck out, he could be their poster boy, or he could be pinned up as the next champion, next young star, whatever the case may be. But the UFC got the best of both worlds, because don't think for 1 second if Izzy go out there and beat the fuck out of Pyfer, or even knock him the fuck out, which I'm predicting he will in the later rounds. Don't think they would hesitate to set up a fight between Izzy and Khamzat. If Izzy go out there and style on Joe Pyfer and dominate him and even finish him, and Khamzat do what he got to do against Sean Strickland, don't think that that's not a fight that will be set up. Hell, even if Strickland somehow beat Khamzat, now you got the rematch between Izzy and Strickland. So I believe if Izzy beat the fuck out of Joe Pyfer, which he should if he ain't washed, I see no reason why Izzy would not get the winner of Strickland and Kamzat. I think that's an easy fight to make. Very easy fight to make. Again, Izzy got the biggest name in the middleweight division. He's ranked number 4 still, despite the 3 losses. And again, he's looked good in 2 out of those 3 losses. You know, just got caught and ended up getting finished eventually in both those fights. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the opportunity for Izzy to do what I know he can do and possibly get a title shot out of it. So we will see. This is Max Show MMA here. We will be talking about the results of Izzy and Joe Pyfer. So stay tuned. More videos dropping soon. Peace.